Who doesn't like finding out that a show that they enjoy is enjoyed by others just as much? I know I am no exception to this, which is what has led us to this video today. So, what I have set up here is that I went over to Crunchyroll, as you could see here. I was just exploring and decided to check out what some of the shows were rated. And then I discovered, as the video states, that there was one that had an average rating of 5 stars. So I did some exploring in some of the other most popular anime and discovered that none of the others did. And we're going to go through those top 10 to see what people are thinking. So what I did here was I went to the settings of Crunchyroll and I went to this section here and put popularity so that I could get the most popular shows. Then I went to filter, put all and then series so that I can cut out the movies and such as you see. And which led us to this screen here with our top 10 shows being Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, Shangri-La Frontier, Berserker of Gluttony, Spy Family, Rising of the Shield Hero, Free Ren, yeah. Not only that, we have a Returner's Magic Should Be Special, and we have the Apothecary Diaries, followed by Dr. Stone. So what I did is I put each one of these shows into their own tab here so that we could go over them one by one. I even ordered them from lowest rating to highest so that we can end with whichever one has that 5-star rating. So the first on our list is Berserk of Gluttony. And if we go over to Berserk of Gluttony's ratings here, it has an average rating of 4.7 stars. Now, if we look into that a bit deeper, we see that about 84% of people gave it 5 stars, about 10% gave it 4 stars, and so on, as you can see on screen here. And this is out of 31.3 thousand votes, which is pretty interesting, and over 259 reviews. Now, the next show on our list is The Rising of the Shield Hero, which, as you can see here, has an average rating of 4.7, just like the Berserk of Gluttony. It has, however, 96.3 thousand votes on it, ratings on it, and about 2,078 reviews. And if we look into the breakdown here, we see that 83% of people seem to give it 5 stars, which is understandable. Season 2 did kind of hurt the show quite a bit, and Season 3 felt somewhat rushed, so that could be part of the reasoning behind why it has a 4.7 rating. Which is unfortunate, because I was quite a fan of Shield Hero when it first started. Next we have A Returner's Magic Should Be Special, which also has an average rating of 4.7 stars, with almost 19,000 people rating it, about 139 reviews. Let's look at that breakdown real quick. About 84, 11, 4. Okay. I don't know a thing about this show. I've watched almost every show in this top 10 except for this one. So, since it's up here, I might have to give it a shot. Actually, make that 2 shows. I also never checked out the Berserk of Gluttony, so since they're so popular, maybe I'll have to give them a look-see. See if they're all that. But, moving on, let's jump over here with our next one, Dr. Stone, which has jumped up a little bit in the ratings with an average rating of 4.8, with a little over 82,000 people who have rated it and about 908 reviews. Let's check out the breakdown, shall we? Okay, so what we can see here is that we have about 89% people with 5 stars. Okay, okay. I can see that. Like, Season 2 was maybe a little on the slow side, and then Season 1 took a little bit to get going, but personally, I'm a huge fan of this show. So, the fact that it's at least 4.8 is pretty nice to see, but sadly, it's not our 5-star. But I would say its a percentage spread isn't too bad. 89.5, 8.4, and so on. Not too shabby. Let's see what we have next. Next, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. People love to hate or love on this show. It varies. But it's got an average rating of 4.9, which is one of our higher ones, with over 310,000 people who have rated this show. That's crazy. And about 2,400 reviews. Damn. Let's look at the breakdown, shall we? So we've got about 95% people for a 5-star rating. That's pretty good. That's a lot higher than our other few shows we've looked at. And I myself enjoy this show too. Gotta love that action. It knows how to throw down, that's for sure. About 4% of people give it 4 stars, and so on. Now, these scores aren't too surprising with how much attention this show gets. But let's keep going. We don't want to spend all day on this. Alright, next we've got One Piece. Now, I don't know a soul out there who hasn't at least heard of One Piece if you're a fan of anime. One Piece here has also got an average rating of 4.9 with over 380,000 people rating it. Damn. And it's got over 4,000 people reviewing it. Okay. Let's look at the breakdown. 95%, it's about the same. It's a little lower than Jujutsu Kaisen's breakdown over here with, oh, no, it's the same. Exact same breakdown as 95, 95. Interesting. Very interesting. So its average is about 95% of people giving it 5 stars, 3% giving it 4. Okay, okay. That's pretty cool. Ah, if you haven't checked out this show yet, it's pretty good. If you were a fan of SAO, but were somewhat disappointed with how they tackled like the game mechanics and stuff, then this is the show for you because what SAO lacked in game mechanics and things making sense to some degree, this makes up for. So, if you haven't checked out Shangri-La Frontier, give it a shot. And the animation is pretty spot on too. All right, let's get to its rating. Let's see. Average 4.9, good, good. Over 40,000 people rating it. Okay. 366 reviews, cool. Let's see the breakdown. Average of 93% at 5 stars. That is a bit lower than Jujutsu and One Piece, which is unfortunate because this show is pretty good. I mean, I could see why there would be some issues with people. It can be a little wacky at times, but I'm in for that, so it doesn't bother me too much. If it were me, I'd probably give it 5 stars personally. I could see argument for 4 though. Our next one here is Spy Family. That also has 4.9 as its average rating, with over 255,000 people rating it, close to 2,500 reviews. Let's see the breakdown. Oh, average of 93, that looks familiar. I believe that was the exact same that we had over here at Shangri-La. So 93% of people give this a 5 stars. That's good. That's good. That's still an A. 5% give it 4 stars. I'm actually very shocked that this hasn't maintained an average of 5 stars with how beloved this show seems to be. Me included. I absolutely adore Spy Family. It's pretty fantastic in my opinion. So the fact it hasn't kept up to what we were thinking is pretty interesting. So our next show in our lineup is Frieren, which also has an average rating of 4.9, which is pretty fantastic. That makes me happy because this is probably one of my favorite shows that is still airing currently as of the recording of this video. And the fact that it's remained at 4.9 with over 50,000 votes is pretty awesome. About 445 reviews as well. Let's look at the breakdown. All right. Oh, about 97% of people seem to give this 5 stars, and I don't blame them because there's a lot to love when it comes to free rate. But I could see there, I mean, I guess I could understand there being some issues with the show that would lower its rating a bit with this other 2% of people here, and like the very minuscule votes for lower. Why you would ever give Free Run 3 stars or lower, I don't know, unless you just aren't into slow burn character focused stories, which fair enough, a lot of people aren't. So that leads us to our last show that has somehow managed to maintain a 5-star rating. And personally, I think it's well deserved, and that show is The Apothecary Diaries. That's right, people. If y'all is sleeping on this show, need to wake up and get on it because it definitely deserves that average rating of 5 stars in my opinion. So, now that we have come to it, let's look at that breakdown. Not only does it have over 60,000 people rating the show, which is even more than the amount of people who have rated Free Ren and a few of the others. And despite having more people rating it than some of the other shows, it still somehow has held on to 5 stars, which is amazing. Because to be honest, this show has a little bit of everything that you could possibly want in a show. You got the booba, you got the good characters, you got the pretty animation. It has mystery, intrigue, and I'm sure in the future it might have a little action too. There's just so much to like about this show that this does not surprise me at all. But at the same time, it does, just because of all the other good shows in this lineup that have not managed it. Now, as I was saying, let's check that breakdown. We have an average of 98% of people giving this 5 stars, which is why it's managed to maintain this rating. And about 2% of people seem to give it 4 stars. That means pretty much nobody is giving it 3 stars or less. The fact that it has maintained this is freaking awesome and just goes to show that y'all be sleeping if you ain't watching this show already. And I know for a fact there are several anime reviewers out there that I pay attention to that seem to be taking quite the heavy nap on this show, which is rather disappointing. But have no fear, because since they're sleeping on this show, I've decided to start reviewing the episodes myself, which you can look forward to after the newest episode airs. I'm planning to do an overview of episodes 1 through 14 when it releases. And then, from then on, every week I'll be reviewing each episode. So look forward to that, people. Because since no one else seems to want to talk about this show, despite it keeping this average rating of 5 stars, is beyond me. And those of you who are talking about this show, to some degree, you're awesome. You're one of my people. Keep up the good work. Stop sleeping on the Apothecary Diaries and get on this. Because if me telling you this isn't enough, just watching it to find out why so many people give it a 5 star rating should be reason enough, in my opinion. But y'all can do what you want. But those of you who love this show and are wanting some more content on it, I got your back. And we all know that this girl right here, yeah, this girl right here, she's one of the biggest reasons to watch this show. And if you don't fall in love with this character, then I'm sorry. Did someone hurt you? Because if you don't like her, then something might be wrong with you. Or not. She might not be your vibe. Who knows? In any case, look forward to those future Apothecary Diary videos. And if you're interested in some of my other videos, check out some of these right here. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. Mr. Howery, out.